guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have what I melted, all of the empties for the month of October. And there's, I think, a few. I want to say there's a few. And you guys, I burnt candles. I burnt some candles, and as you can see, I'm burning candles currently. Before we get started, I just want to say I have nothing on my nails. I'm giving my nails a break for the next couple of weeks because they are very thin and fine, and I love nail polish. You guys know this, but it does a number on your nails. So with that said, if you're tuning into this channel for the first time, hello, welcome to the wax family. Definitely, if you love this content, give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you like this type of video and you would like to see more of it. So welcome, and welcome back to all those who are already currently subscribed, and thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to start with candle empties. So candle empties, see, I told you I burnt like a few candles. This is pumpkin apple. This is a staple in my household for many years. This is a staple. This is Bath & Body Works. It struggled. This one did have a lot of struggle, and you can sort of see that it kind of got a little dirty towards the bottom. It did self-extinguish. It didn't really have a lot of sooting, but she kind of burnt dirty. Like, again, that smell after the halfway mark, as we all know, you can sort of see where it struggled. Again, the first third did really well, and then it kind of struggled through here, and then a little bit better through the middle, and then it struggled again in the bottom. It's like a tree, and it's counting its rings in the sense that you can sort of see how well it did based on the burns. The only other thing I'll say, I love pumpkin apple, but I feel like, I know there's a description says red delicious apple, fall pumpkin, and ground cinnamon, but I really feel the cinnamon was a little heavier than I have smelt in the past, and I have been buying this candle for a long time. I wish I wouldn't do that. I love a good red delicious apple with just a little hint of scent. But I mean, whatever, you know, I'm just one person. But I do, and I will repurchase this in the future. It was just that it was a little heavier on the cinnamon, and it struggled so much with the burn. But that is the crapshoot you have with when it comes to Bath & Body Works. By the 50% mark, you don't know if you're going to have a good one. You don't know if you're going to have a bad one. And then on to another candle, which is funny because these two candles that are empty did not do well, but the one that's burning right here that's not an empty, it's doing great. So not all Bath & Body Works candles do this, but just the two that I emptied apparently. This is in pumpkin carving. I absolutely love this wrap. I think it's wonderful. I love the festiveness of this. The lid is spectacular. She burnt really dirty. When I say that, I mean kerosene. It heavy, dirty. Like, it took over any other scent that I had going on in the house. Like, it just got really heavy. Like, almost had to open the windows up in the condo because it just smelled burnt. As you can sort of see too, there's obviously some sooting action on the side here. So long short of it is, I was really looking forward to the scent, but it didn't do well. This is actually, well, pumpkin carving, as I mentioned, described as freshly carved pumpkin, spiced pumpkin, seeds, smooth brown sugar. Anyway, I've said this before about Bath & Body Works candles. You never know what you're going to get. And unfortunately, these two that I'm talking about today, not so good. But this one, you'll see in an empties next month. It's actually doing really well. And then we have empties for the Candle Daddy. And this is in Basic Bitch. It was basically pumpkin spice latte, and it actually was really good. Like I said, I've said it in a couple of videos. I will make a video where I'm going to go through all about the Candle Daddy. I was gifted a lot of these items. Well, I was gifted all items from the Candle Daddy by their owner. And I'm very honest, I actually prefer their candles more than I like their wax melts. And I know that's weird. It's all the same. But I feel like I get more lasting power out of these. For this one little, like, I think it's an 8-ounce jar of wax, throws way better than these big 14.5-ounce jars of wax from Bath & Body Works. They're a little bit more expensive. They are a vendor versus a big company. But this is really nice. And there's a couple scents that you can't get, and I haven't been able to find. And we'll go through those when I do the other video. But this one burnt really well. It did not struggle. A little sitting there, I guess, at one point, but it didn't struggle. This one actually burned very well. I have had tendencies where the wick will move off to the side for a little bit and then bounce back before the end. And like I said, I'll go through all of that with you guys when I do that other video for all of you. But I really enjoy this candle. It's lasted a long time, many hours, far more hours in this candle than that one over there from Bath & Body Works. So there you go. I have 2 Scentsy empties. Both of these were gifted to me. One was gifted to me by my friend Ramona, and one was gifted to me by my friend Patricia. Both of them are Scentsy consultants. I know the vanilla black, I believe the vanilla blackberry was a scent of the month for the month of August. I really enjoyed this, and I melted 2 little cubes in a wax warmer in the bedroom. And I actually have to say the Scentsy's blackberry is really, really good, and the vanilla that they used was very nice. And I really did enjoy crisp orchard air. Really like this. This is what you would call a red delicious apple. It's beautiful, and I loved it. October, September is when I love a lot of my apple scents. Really enjoyed this one too. So again, you guys, thanks ladies for gifting me these. This is really nice. Then I have 2 more items here, both found at Walmart, both of them in the United States. Both of these are US wax melts. This one here is in the white pumpkin sage. White pumpkin sage was okay, but it's quite spicy. I'm not normally a sage person, but it is pretty spicy. It's not like horrible, but I probably wouldn't purchase this one in the future. So this was okay. And then the next one though, ooh, this one is like I've said before, you can lick the air. This is literally the 3 pies that you see right here. You got pumpkin pie, you got pecan pie, and you got an apple crisp pie. Yes, to all of them. And a lot of them is because the spices are very similar, but from a person like myself who doesn't like a lot of cinnamon, but I do enjoy some spice, this was perfect. I got the crust. I got all 3 different types of pies. I just really enjoyed this one. Now, I can't get my hands on it. It is from the United States. I won't be able to get this at all. If you're in the States and you find this, give this a try. It did even better when warmed than it did on cold. I was nervous on cold because it did sort of smell a bit strong on spices, but it did really well. So up next we have Ever Apple, and this is beautiful. I've talked a lot about this one in the past. This is from the Bathing Garden, and I don't have scent note descriptions. I wish the vendors would do scent note descriptions and pour dates. That's, just, Anyway, Ever Apple, love this one. It is a red delicious apple with the caramel on the outside. It's beautiful, sweet, but not too ooey gooey, because that's what I say when I'm like tapping out on like, ooh, too sweet. Too sweet. No, anyway, I really enjoy this one. I have another one in my backup, and yeah, if she still has it on her website, definitely check it out. And then we have, from Zape, we have Taper Fade, which is described as shaving cream and yuzu. And I liked melting this one in our bathrooms. So anything with shaving cream, and the yuzu is a citrusy or fruit type scent. I like that blend in bathrooms as well. It's very fresh, clean, crisp, that kind of scent. And I really enjoy this. This is a repurchase of mine, and I would definitely repurchase in the future. As I mentioned before, I absolutely love this one. Goose Creek's Apple Bourbon. So delicious. So good. It is like not a Red Delicious, not a Granny Smith, but rather it's more of a gala apple. So a sweeter dessert type apple with a bourbon, but not like super like alcohol smelling. It's just a really sweet, oaky, barrely, rich, almost a little caramelly, little amber scent, and it's beautiful. I absolutely love this one. And Goose Creek doesn't ship to Canada, unfortunate, but I would definitely repurchase in the future, and I have some friends I can send this to. If I place an order, I can have to send it to them, and they fill a box, and then I would get all my lovely deliciousness of wax eventually. So 100% would repurchase Apple Bourbon, and highly recommend this one as well. And then we have a few empties here from Destination Wax. Now, like I was mentioning earlier, with the name of the wax, first of all, the name of the company, the name of the wax, the scent note descriptions, and the pour date. Like, it's not hard, especially for reviewers. It's just me being picky, but it is 21st century. I would really, really like that most vendors start doing this. It would be nice. But anyway, this one is from Destination Wax, as mentioned. This is Goblin's Bride and Rose Petal Jam and Tea and Cakes. Really, really nice. It is a little on the sweeter side. That's why I was able to take the rose, because the rose wasn't super strong and heavy, dewy rose. It was definitely sweet. And then the tea and cakes were kind of like, they're in the back burner. But I really did enjoy this. Now I split this in half, and I used half at one time in the bedroom warmer. because a scent shot cup this size, you only need to use half for sure, or even less. Some people, you know, without a collection the size of mine or prefer a little bit less to use, you can definitely get away with like a third or whatever you guys like. But really, I did enjoy this one. I wouldn't purchase it in a huge amount, but I enjoyed it just the same. Really enjoyed this one. This is again from Destination Wax in Bartlett Pear, Juicy Pear, Tart Green Apples, and Fresh Pear Nectar. So the only thing I will say is I wish it was a little bit stronger. Like it got, oddly enough, it got stronger as I was melting it. But I want it to be stronger. Split this in half and put half in each of one of the warmers that I had in the living room or the great room. It's definitely there, don't get me wrong, but pear in general, as much as I love it, tends to be lighter, and a lot of people mistake pear and apple, or they like think one or the other. But I do love this, and I have repurchased this in a bigger bar. I just want it to be a little bit juicier. Like if they could find an oil like this, the taste, it's weird, like the taste of the Jelly Belly jelly beans in the pear. Oh, that's one of my favorite jelly beans from Jelly Belly, is the pear one. Oh my God, it's so good. It literally tastes like you're biting into the sweetest pear ever. But I do like this. I did repurchase a larger size of it. I just wish it was a little bit stronger. The last one from Destination Wax is chai tea. So black tea, lightly spiced with cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, and a splash of vanilla. Now, when I initially talked about this, I think I was melting it that day. And again, I split this in half and put it into my warmers over a weekend, because that's how I like my coffee and tea scents on a weekend. I'm going to take back what I said and say this is super strong. And I'd actually think about purchase. I had got in a bar. I'd actually think about purchasing this in a loaf size down the road, or sorry, foil pan down the road. This actually turned out to actually get stronger in a good way towards the end of the day, which is not normally what happens. So I would definitely repurchase this. And it's different enough for me to purchase this. And Super Tarts has Hedwig. They are different enough that I would buy, obviously, lots of both. Then I have a sample from my order from Vintage Chic Scents, or VCS. This is in the scent Fall Fun Fest. This is pumpkin pecan waffles, zucchini bread, and yellow cake. I got mostly pumpkin pecan waffles, and I've said this before. It was just too much for me, too ooey gooey. Zucchini bread was lost, yellow cake was lost. Wasn't for me. I know I'm in the minority by saying that I don't like pumpkin pecan waffles that much, because I find it to be too ooey gooey. Those are my words. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. But I split this in half and I melted it in each of my warmers in the great room again. Very strong, no worries about that. And this was only just poured in, I think September 3rd. I think that is. Anyway. It was lovely, but not my cup of tea. So I wouldn't purchase this. I actually received this as a sample. So I wouldn't purchase this one myself again, but I know so many people who love that kind of scent. So I'm going to go through these a little bit quicker. These are all from Super Tarts. Less is more. You only need 1 cube in each warmer, and sometimes they can last weeks. So if you don't have a collection like mine and you order from places, well, pretty much from any of the ones I'm talking about, they'll last a really long time. So Birds, Harvest Ale Pumpkin Donuts, Brown Sugar Buttercream. This is from the label of Wax Wednesday 2019. This was delicious, good. I love this Harvest Ale. Yes, yes, yes. It's been a repurchase of mine. Again, in the older packaging in Harry. This is sweetened cereal, marshmallows, sugary milk, and French baguette. Really, really nice. Now, I wouldn't repurchase... I wouldn't be repurchasing this in a larger amount, like a BAM bag, but I would consider purchasing another clam like this down the road. But I did like Harry. Then we have Alley. This is ginger ale, satsuma, and boysenberry. And very few vendors use boysenberry. And I really like this one. Very fruity, very lively. Nice way to kind of break up some of the apples, the pumpkins, and the spices of the season. And of course, I love ginger ale and satsuma. It's a win for me. Then we have Jasper, which is one of my absolute favorite bathroom scents that I purchased for the bathroom. This is described as Satsuma and soft laundry, and that is where I love to melt those types of scents in the bathroom. So 1 cube in each of the warmers in the bathroom. Killer strength. This can last a very long time. I just use my wax for the day and then that's it. Some people actually change their wax out like a few times in the day. I just do it once. Yeah, so anyway, I love Jasper. It has been a repurchase and it will continue to be a repurchase of mine. I kind of bought this one because of my husband, because he loves Doctor Who. So this is blue sugar cream and tea and cakes. And this was really nice, actually surprisingly enjoyable. I wouldn't go out and purchase a ton of this, I don't think. My husband liked it. I don't know if it's because I told him it was named Tarts, but I liked it. But I think if I were to get something like this in the future, it would just be in a clamshell size. I wouldn't go any bigger, like into a BAM bag, which actually is about 3 of these in total in a bag. So take it for what it's worth. But I do like Tarts, but I don't think I would repurchase in bulk. And then we have 2 items from Super Tarts in the Jaws collection. And we have Chrissy's Remains and Chomper. So there is the original scent in Jaws, and then there's spin-offs too. So both of these have the same scent note descriptions at the beginning, but each of them have 1 extra note to make it their own. So each of them are sea salt, ozone, seagrass, plum, and pear. And Chomper is Mac Apple, and Chrissy's Remains is Spun Sugar. So that's what added to these. I've ordered these many times. Love the Jaws line. The only one I won't buy is the pomegranate one because I don't like pomegranate in wax. So anyway, yeah, really do enjoy this. I highly recommend. Jaws goes in the warmers in the bathrooms as well for us. And I don't want to make this video super long, so I'm literally just going to go through these bags with you guys and tell you whether I loved it, would I repurchase it. Loved it and would repurchase. This is from Zape in Black Magic Chai. I actually gifted 2 of these shapes to some coworkers too. So at spiced chai, creamy caramel, sweet candied apples, and Halloween pumpkins. Great. Then we have from VCS, Gail Weathers. This is Campfire, Soft Sandalwood, Toasted Marshmallows, and Smoky Vanilla. Really enjoyed this one. Very much like Beach Nights from Bath & Body Works, the body care from a few years back. Really enjoyed this. I would consider repurchasing a smaller amount. This was 2 maple leaf sizes, so I would definitely think about that in the future. Then we have from Rainbow Melts, this is Pumpkin Oud and Palo Santo. Not my favorite. I don't like Palo Santo that much, and you're going to see something else in the future here, the near future, that I also don't like. But I like pumpkin, and then Oud is like a very resinous wood type scent, and Palo Santo. Not my favorite, but you know, I chopped it into 4. This is a rather large pumpkin shape. I chopped it into 4 and melted each little piece in the bathrooms. One I did really love, this is from, again, Rainbow Melts. This is Pumpkin Caramel Crunch Cookies. Gooey caramel and crunchy pumpkin cookies. Really nice. Again, a very large pumpkin shape. I split this into quarters again and melted this in our great room, and it was really nice. Sleepy is one of my very favorite scents from the Bathing Garden. It's a little bit nostalgia for me. One of my very first random act of kindnesses of wax melts from vendors, because I was totally into candles 100% back in the day, had Sleepy in it, and I absolutely fell in love. I couldn't believe you can get scents like this. I'm used to candles where they're fairly basic, especially back in, like, was it 2016? They weren't really exploring like multiple layers of scents and all that stuff. Whereas vendor wax had my heart. I was like, oh my God, you can make so many amazing scents. That's just awesome. So anyway, I love Sleepy, and it's continually going to be a repurchase for me. Then we have Brain Freeze, which was also in that same random act of kindness I just spoke about. This is peppermint. I can't remember the other scent notes. Again, this is a sample size. I can't remember the other scent notes, but Brain Freeze has a lot of peppermints. I think some vanilla in it too. Beautiful, love it. And it was in the shape of a brain, which is like amazing. I love that kind of thing. This one was in Trick or Treat bag. This was okay. Wasn't anything to write home about, but these ones were all samples, and I'm always grateful for samples, and the Bathing Garden gives you lots of samples. So if you've not ordered from the Bathing Garden before, and you do, don't be shocked if you get a whole bunch of samples, because, well, why wouldn't you be happy about it? I'm always happy for free samples. Like, come on, it's free. Anyway, you guys, I didn't mind this one. It just wasn't my favorite. I wouldn't think about purchasing this in the future. Blackberry jam shortbread cookies, buttery shortbread cookies filled with rich, sweet blackberry jam. Really love this one. You guys know, love blackberry, love shortbread cookies. Bring it on. This is peppermint mocha. This was a sample size. This is dark coffee flavored with a perfect balance of fresh peppermint and chocolate. Really enjoyable. Like I said, I've had this before, and I think I may have it in a bar as well. Then we have Santo Rosa. Not my favorite. Don't like Palo Santo and don't like lots of roses. So it was not my favorite. Again, it was a sample. I had this going in our bedroom. It blew us out of the water. It was very strong, this little one. So if you like that blend, I'm going to say go get you some, because if it comes available, this will last you a while. It's very strong. And lastly, we have mint shortbread. This is buttery minty shortbread cookies. Absolutely love it. Just as it sounds, that's what it smells like. And I think I might get a bar to start, but like I mentioned before in a previous video, I might even, if I really love it that much, get a whole foil pan, which is like a loaf. Anyway, really, really like this one. Again, I love gourmand. I love anything to smell like I could eat it, and I could definitely eat this. All right, you guys, so that is everything. This is what I have completed for the month of October, which isn't bad considering we were away for a whole week on our honeymoon to Quebec City. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for toughing it out and watching this whole video. As always, you guys, be safe, take care, and have fun. Bye, guys.